"You speak so confidently," replied the father, astounding me with his patience. Lucifer stepped forward, his cloak dragging behind him. "Of course! I thwart everything you do. You soften hearts, I harden them. You teach truth, I shadow it. You offer joy, I steal it." He pivoted, parading around the room, boasting of his deeds. The betrayal of Joseph by his brothers? I did that. Moses, banished to the desert after killing the Egyptian? Me as well. David watching Bathsheba bathe? Me. You must admit my work has been crafty. Crafty? Perhaps. But effective? No. I know what you will do even before you do it. I used the betrayal of Joseph to deliver my people from famine. Your banishment of Moses became his wilderness training. And yes, David did commit adultery with Bathsheba, but he repented of his sin. And thousands have been inspired by his example and found what he found, my unending grace. Your deceptions have only served as platforms for my mercy. You are still my servant, Satan. When will you learn your feeble attempts to disturb my work only enable my work? Every act you have intended for evil, I have used for good. Satan began to growl, a throaty, guttural, angry growl, softly at first, then louder, until the room was filled with a roar that must have quaked the very foundations of hell. But the king was not bothered. Feeling ill? Lucifer lurked around the room, breathing loudly, searching for words to say and a shadow from which to say them. He finally found the words, but never the shadow. "Show me, O King of Light, show me one person on the earth who always does right and obeys your will." Dare you ask? You know there need only be one perfect one, only one sinless one to die for all the others. "I know your plans, and you have failed. No Messiah will come from your people. There is none who is sinless, not one." He turned his back to the desk and began naming the children. "Not Moses, not Abraham, not Lot, not Rebekah, not Elijah." The father stood up from his throne, releasing a wave of holy light so intense that Lucifer staggered backward and fell. "Those are my children, you mock!" God's voice boomed. "You think you know much, fallen angel, but you know so little. Your mind dwells in the valley of self. Your eyes see no further than your own needs." The king walked over and reached for the book. He turned it toward Lucifer and commanded, "Come, deceiver, read the name of the one who will call your bluff. Read the name of the one who will storm your gates." Satan rose slowly off his haunches. Like a wary wolf, he walked a wide circle towards the desk until he stood before the volume and read the word, Emmanuel. "Emmanuel?" he muttered to himself, then spoke in a tone of disbelief. "God with us?" For the first time, the herded figure turned squarely toward the face of the father. "No. Not even you would do that. Not even you would go so far." "You've never believed me, Satan." "But Emmanuel, the plan is bizarre. You don't know what it's like on earth. You don't know how dark I've made it. It's putrid. It's evil. It is mine," proclaimed the king, "and I will reclaim what is mine. I will become flesh. I will feel what my creatures feel. I will see what they see." "But what of their sin?" "I will bring mercy." "But what of their death?" "I will give life." Satan stood speechless. God spoke, "I love my children, and love does not take away the beloved's freedom. But love does take away fear. And Emmanuel will leave behind a tribe of fearless children. They will not fear you or your hell." Satan stepped back to the thought. His retort was childish. Did they will too?" "I will take away all sin. I will take away all death. Without sin and without death, you have no power." Around and around in a circle, Satan paced, clenching and unclenching his wiry fingers. And when he finally stopped, he asked a question. And even I was thinking, "Why? Why would you do this?" And the father's voice was deep and soft. "Because I love them."